Okay.
So I scream out for you to rescue me. Hold me in your arms and turn my nightmares into dreams. Wipe my tears away.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Helping Hands. Our episode today is entitled Life's Hallway Stairs. I'm John Thalon. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are, and once again, welcome. So, we start out with Miss Rosemarie. She finds herself living alone in a third floor apartment building. Does Rosemarie? She's been there for about 30 years now. She's got three children. They all grew up in the neighborhood. She loves her building and the other tenants too. They get along evidently. So, as the years rolled by, her kids got married, grew up, of course, got married, moved out. Her husband of 50 years, sadly, he passed away. But her passion for living and for having friends still brings her happiness, which is nice. Well, as she ages, her and her best friend's bodies, you tend to wear down. I mean, I'm not the guy I was 20, 30, 40 years ago. Her best friend, however, is a golden retriever who she named Mr. Duke. Good name. Just like the people age, time is sneaking up too on Mr. Duke. And those three flights of hallway stairs, man, they're starting to get to him. They're also becoming a little difficult for Rosemarie to go up and down, to get outside, come back in, and so forth. But Rosemarie and Duke, they were dealing with those stairs. And that's when life happened. Rosemarie fell in the shower and she hurt her leg. She called her son Joel for help, and he then rushes to her apartment.
Mom, are you okay? Is your leg still hurting? Should we go to the ER? I will call your doctor.
No, son, I'm okay. I just need to rest. You know, if I go to the ER, they'll keep me overnight. I have diabetes and my sugar is high. I just can't leave Mr. Duke all alone at night. But I prefer if you take Mr. Duke to the veterinarian. He's not as active as he used to be. He's a big dog, and I'm worried about his hips.
Okay, Mom. I will take him next weekend.
Joel takes Mr. Duke to the vet, and he finds out that he has arthritis in his rear hips. Because of his age and his size, because, a golden's kind of a big doggy, moving around is becoming a little difficult. This is why he is less active than he used to be. So Joel takes Mr. Duke home and tells his mom all about it.
Mom, the veterinarian says it will be hard for Mr. Duke to walk. He has arthritis in his rear hips. It would become difficult for him to go up and down these 3 flights of hallway stairs. I don't know how you will continue taking him outside for walks.
I was scared of that. Honestly, son, walking those stairs is also hard for me. Sometimes I get out of breath and feel dizzy. Your dad said those hallway stairs will become an obstacle one day. I just didn't think that day would ever come.
I wish I lived closer to help you, but even if I could come over every day to take Mr. Duke out, what about you? How will you continue walking them 3 flights of hallway stairs to go outside? We need to have a family meeting and talk about this.
So Joel calls his siblings. They all gather the following Saturday morning at their mom's apartment. They start talking about how to deal with mom's problem of walking up and down those hallway stairs. Her oldest son Lou and the youngest Walter speak to their mom. They're both concerned about her falling in the shower and, hurting her leg. I would be too. Lou even brought a handicapped shower handle that she could grab onto. Walt starts playing with Mr. Duke and then says his facial hair is turning white. You know how on their muzzle they get a little white. He gives his mom a walking cane for help, and this is what Rosemarie has to say then.
I'm so happy to see my 3 sons here. How are your families? I wish I could see my grandkids more. But I understand working those long hours and living so far away. I'm just happy you're all doing better, and my leg is feeling much better.
Mom, it's me, Joel. We all spoke before coming here, and we came up with an idea. Maybe you should sell the house and move into a senior nursing facility. You are getting older, and they provide medical attention and watch over you. Those hallway stairs are not going away, and it will become tougher on you, Mom.
No way. This is my home, and I'll never leave it. Memories in this apartment keep me alive. They bring me joy. What will happen to Mr. Duke? Ever since you three grew up and left, he has become my best friend. He watches over me. That's why your dad got him, so I wouldn't be alone.
Well, clearly, it was difficult, and the family couldn't make a decision about what exactly to do. Weeks went by, and one morning, after Rosemary was walking Mr. Duke, she sat in the front porch to rest a little bit. That's when her first floor tenant, John, came home from work. He saw her and sat down beside her, and they both had a little chat, started talking to each other.
Thank you, John, for keeping me company. You have such a blessed heart. Mr. Duke and I are not spring chickens anymore. We need to rest before climbing up all those hallway stairs. You know he has arthritis in his rear hips. He's an old man now.
Well, Miss Rosemary, we are all getting older. But how are you? I see 3 of your sons came over a few weeks ago. I hope everything is okay.
Everything's good. But John, how is your wife? Is she still sick? I know how she feels. When I was younger, I had a miscarriage too. I always thought the baby was my daughter. Believe me, she'll feel much better in time. And maybe you two can try again.
That is very kind of you to say, Miss Rosemary. You have always been a wonderful landlord and a good friend. For example, when I was out of work and you let us live here rent-free for those few months, what a blessing you gave us, and all the comfort and care you gave to my wife, Maria. We have no family here since coming to America, so we consider you familia.
Family is everything. That's why I refuse to sell my house. My sons think if I sell my house, I can live in an old folks' home. To me, that's not living. It's just surviving. I want to be around my neighbors and my memories.
Eh, Pardon me for asking, but why do you want to sell? You have a life here. I see you walking Mr. Duke up and down the block. All the neighbors wave at you, and the children come up to Mr. Duke and pet him. This is where you are happy. This is your home.
You're right, John. But neither I nor Mr. Duke can keep climbing those stairs. I'm starting to lose my breath and get dizzy. And Mr. Duke has arthritis in his rear hips. Soon, these steps are going to be too much for him to climb. My husband knew living on the third floor one day would force us out of our home.
As the months went on, the health of Rosemary and Mr. Duke, well, it was declining bit by little bit. Rosemary was finding the hallway staircase harder and harder to go up and down, and Mr. Duke was breathing heavily and whining as he climbed the stair. And he didn't like the train horn either. Very loud. It freaked him out, almost like thunder. So, at any rate, Rosemary's son Joel then spoke to the two tenants and informed them that she was going to bring a realtor around to look at the house. Even though Rosemary was against selling it, her kids contacted the realtor. Joel scheduled the realtor by the name of Deborah Jones to come visit the house, the building, and talk to Rosemary, his mom.
Hi, Miss Rosemary. I'm Deborah Jones. I specialize in selling homes just like yours. You have a beautiful, well-kept 3-family house. I'm sure in this market I can get you top dollar. Your house will sell fast. And for your good fortune, I see that neither of your tenants has signed leases. They basically are what we call month-to-month renters.
What do you mean? We rent to these people for years now. They're excellent tenants, and they're my friends.
Don't worry, Miss Rosemary. This is a good thing because they are locked into a yearly lease. The new owners can force them to leave. After all, both of your tenants only pay $1,000 monthly for rent. You should get at least $3,000 for the first floor and $2,500 for the second. You're losing $3,500 per month in income.
That's crazy. These tenants could never pay that much rent. They would be forced to leave. John's wife, Maria, is sick from a miscarriage, and she's already having a bad depression. And Alice Howard, my second tenant, is struggling as a single mom. She just came through a divorce. How could they live?
Rosemarie's three sons are trying to force her to sell that house and move into a senior assisted living facility. Not a bad idea, but maybe not completely right either. Even though she owns the house and has the final decision on selling or not, her sons are really breaking her down and persuading her to really think hard about selling. Her sons see through their eyes and only see this as their final option to keep their mom safe. I get that. We all understand. They even hide, telling her that no senior facility will allow Mr. Duke to live there. Whoa. So they decided to make a terrible choice to put Mr. Duke down once they moved their mom into an assisted living facility. Rosemarie then, go figure, she hears a knock at the door. It's Alice Howard, the second floor tenant. She opens the door, lets her in, and they start talking to one another.
Hi, Miss Rosemary. That realtor Deborah Jones came by to see my apartment. She said that you might be selling the house. Can I ask you why? Aren't you happy here? Haven't I been a good tenant to you? I mean, I know it was difficult for me and my husband with being loud and obnoxious, but you know about him. He drinks too much. But we're divorced now, and it's just me and little Michael. He loves you so much.
Alice, you're like the daughter I never had. I love little Michael. I always hear him playing in the hallway, and it brings a smile to my face. My own kids used to play in the hallway, but my sons strongly feel that living in a senior care facility will be safer for me. I'm getting older now, and these hallway stairs are becoming harder for me to go up and down on, and Mr. Duke feels the same.
You've been so good to me and Michael. I understand where you're coming from, but I still can't believe that it's all coming to an end. Everything about this building feels like my home. And you always know that, and I always know that you're upstairs and you made me feel so secure. I always thought that no matter what, how loud that me and my husband gotten, you would always come downstairs knocking at my door and save me. He may have been abusive to me and Michael, but for some blessed reason, he was embarrassed in front of you. Well, whatever you decide to do, Miss Rosemary, I'm gonna miss you.
Rosemarie has walked her block with Mr. Duke many times over these last few weeks. It was like she didn't want to stop walking. She felt that her world was about to come to an end. What she saw while walking was her life's memories. She saw friendly ghosts of old neighbors waving at her, and like it did for many years, she saw her husband's car driving up as she would wait for him on the front porch. Her kids then scheduled another meeting with Deborah Jones, the realtor. She was bringing over the real estate contract for the sale of the house. She told Joel that the house should sell fast and might even sell for more than the asking price. Again, she's just doing her job. So all she needed was for Rosemarie to sign the contracts, the paperwork, to get the sale underway. Rosemarie asked both of her tenants to come to her apartment. She wanted to tell them that she has decided to sell the house and to ask them about it, get their input.
Please sit down, John and Alice. And John, please tell your wife Maria to come sit by me. I want her to sit in my husband's chair. It was so comfortable. I asked you to come here because I really have no choice but to sell my house and move into a nursing home. I don't want to, but those hallway stairs are too much for me. Soon, Mr. Duke and I might be trapped on the third floor. There's really nothing I can do about it. I even dreamt of putting an elevator in this old building. That's just a fantasy. What do you think, John?
Well, Miss Rosemary, have you looked at every option? I mean, if you really feel a senior care facility is what you need, then by all means, sell. But I speak for all of us that we all feel this is our home.
Right. This is our home. There has to be some type of way that we can figure it out. But houses like this one with 3 floors and hallway stairs are the worst for elderly people. Maria, what do you think that we do? Well, Miss Rosemary, You are family to us. You are all that we have. Ever since we came to America, we left everything behind just to have a better life. You gave us a better life. You rented to us, and when nobody else would ever would do that. Everything we have is because of you. You gave us a home, and when we couldn't afford to pay rent, you sent down food to us and never asked about the rent. We're like family, and we're so sad that we're gonna lose you if you go away.
Well, I know somehow we will all stay together. You all can come and visit me at the nursing home. I know it won't be the same, but we'll still have each other. Duke and I will be okay. My sons love me, and they say this is our only choice.
Now the day has come, and Deborah Jones, the realtor, she's sitting at Rosemarie's kitchen table. She's explaining to her all the for sale paperwork she needs to sign. She also explains that the sale is contingent upon her getting into that senior care facility, assisted living. Deborah, the realtor, then asks Rosemarie what's going to happen with Mr. Duke. Joel tries to stop her, but he can't get his words out. Rosemarie says that he's coming with me to the nursing home to live. Then Joel says, Mom, we're doing this for your own good, and there's no other choice. Dad even said these hallway stairs would one day force you two to leave the house. There are many older folks in this exact situation. People just get older by the day and end up not being able to walk up and down hallway staircases like this. It's a huge problem, and families all over have to make these decisions. Just then, John and his wife Maria, the first floor tenants, they knock on the door. Joe goes over, opens it up. They walk in, huge smiles on both of their faces. John begins to speak.
Hola, Miss Rosemary. I believe we have the answer. I know how we can solve the hallway stairs problem. You do not have to sell your home. How about we just switch apartments? Me and Maria will move into your apartment, and you can move into ours. That way, you won't have 3 flights of stairs to worry about, and I can build you a ramp in the front yard right to the porch. So you and Duke will never, ever have to climb stairs again. Your problem will disappear, and you can remain in the house, and we will all still be together. Because we consider you family, I am offering you my helping hand.
And that's what it's all about, folks. And that is our Helping Hand show for today. We do really hope you've enjoyed it. Helping Hand, as always, was created and conceived by Joel Emil, who's also the writer of this episode. Now, with that, here are the characters and the actors who played them. Joel, go figure, he played Joel. A bit of a stretch, huh? Ryan Evans, he played John. Audrey Larson played Rosemarie. Jennifer Service played Alice and Marie. And Ruby Sandy, she played Realtor Deborah Jones. We also, as always, want to give a big thanks to Gino DiPiero of HamiltonRadio.net. He's our producer, our recording engineer, and me, as always, I'm John Thielon. That doesn't change. Go figure. Your host and narrator. So thank you so much for listening. We'll catch you next time on Helping Hand. And as always, don't forget, keep the faith and never give up. Don't give up, ever. Your opportunity, your success, your helping hand is closer than you think. So long.